President Trump condemned the bomb threats against liberals in the strongest possible terms on Wednesday afternoon, declaring himself extremely angry about the attempted violence against his political opponents and a news organization. The person responsible for the despicable acts will be brought to justice, he promised. We will spare no resources or expense in this effort. In these times, we have to unify. We have to come together and send one very clear, strong, unmistakable message that acts or threats of political violence or any kind have no place in the United States of America, he asserted. This egregious conduct is abhorrent to everything we hold dear and sacred as Americans. Speaking immediately before him, First Lady Melania Trump told attendees of the White House event, "We cannot tolerate those cowardly attacks, and I strongly condemn all who choose violence." The White House immediately condemned the attempted violence against Trump's political rivals on Wednesday as suspicious packages were intercepted by the Secret Service en route to the residences of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. A fourth one, that was intended for former Attorney General Eric Holder but was sent to the wrong address, was confiscated by the Secret Service as it was returned to the listed sender, the office of Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Vice President Mike Pence and Ivanka Trump censured the bomb scares. Sarah Sanders also sent out a formal statement of condemnation on behalf of the White House. The president said he agrees wholeheartedly after Pence said in tweet that these cowardly actions are despicable and have no place in this country. Trump's daughter, a senior White House advisor, said, "I strongly condemn the attempted acts of violence against President Obama, the Clinton family, at CNN and others. There is no excuse. America is better than this." The president's campaign also sent out a statement on Wednesday after it failed to prevent the fundraising email from the president's daughter-in-law, Laura, complaining about CNN from being distributed. Campaign manager Brad Parscale said in a statement that was shared first with CNN, "The email that went out today unfortunately was a pre-programmed, automated message that was not caught before the news broke. We apologize for this. We in no way condone violence against anyone who works for CNN or anyone else. We condemned the attempted violent attacks recently made against President Obama, President Clinton, Secretary Clinton, and other public figures. These terrorizing acts are despicable, and anyone responsible will be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law," Sanders said. The United States Secret Service and other law enforcement agencies are investigating and will take all appropriate actions to protect anyone threatened by these cowards. At an opioids event at the White House later, the president preached a message of unity as he designated the safety and security of Americans his highest and absolute priority. CNN, a news network the president regularly harangues, says the suspicious device it was sent on Wednesday morning was sent to an off-site screening facility. The package was addressed to Obama-era CIA Director John Brennan, a national security analyst for a competing news network. Several news outlets reported that the White House was also a target of the bomb threats amid the confusion, but later retracted their reporting. The FBI confirmed to DailyMail.com that the White House was never a target, and the Secret Service also sent out a statement to that effect. Liberal billionaire George Soros received a pipe bomb at his home on Tuesday. The attempted attacks on other government officials are believed by law enforcement to have been carried out by the same suspect. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said during a news conference that his office also received a package containing a bomb. His office later retracted the claim. ABC News reported later in the day that Capitol Police had also intercepted a suspicious package addressed to Democratic Rep. Maxine Waters. Trump has repeatedly called her a low-IQ person at rallies as he expounds of the dangers of electing Democrats to Congress. In June, after the California representative advised her followers to chase down Trump administration officials and tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere, the president warned her to be careful what you wish for in a message that claimed she was promoting violence. She has just called for harm to supporters, of which there are many, of the Make America Great Again movement. Be careful what you wish for, Max, he said. Sanders said in a second statement the president is monitoring the situation. This is an ongoing situation that President Trump and his admin are monitoring closely. Our condemnation of these despicable acts certainly includes threats made to CNN as well as current or former public servants. These cowardly acts are unacceptable and won't be tolerated, she tweeted. She said in a third update on Wednesday afternoon that Trump had been briefed on the investigation into the suspicious packages. As the conversation turned from the attempted violence to the events that incited it, the president's commentary at his rallies became a prime target. Trump castigated Soros in a tweet last month amid the fight to get Brett Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court. He said that activists protesting his nomination were being funded by Soros. Don't fall for it. Also, look at all of the professionally made identical signs paid for by Soros and others. These are not signs made in the basement from love, he said in the message that called them troublemakers. The president routinely harasses the fake news media and crooked Hillary as part of his stump speech, encouraging the audience to boo at assembled journalists and chant "Lock her up." We also have to elect candidates who will try to do the same, who will set goals that will lift up every single Floridian and American, she during a speech in Coral Gables, Florida. After he was asked about Trump's rally remarks, including his derogatory statements about CNN during a news conference on the bomb threats, "I'm just going to say something broad, because at a time when there's a lot of hatred and division, it does not make sense to exacerbate it. Let's just say this to all public officials of all partisan affiliations: don't encourage violence, don't encourage hatred, don't encourage attacks on media. You can disagree, but you have to show respect for people and air your disagreements peacefully." So unfortunately, this atmosphere of hatred is contributing to the choices people are making to turn to violence. There's no question about it, he said. He advised political operatives using fiery rhetoric to gin up the base, to bring down the temperature, to end any messages about the use of violence against people we disagree with. And that has to start at the top, he said in a pointed statement. The president's middle son, Eric Trump, noted afterward that he has also been the target of threatening mail. "As someone who has been on the receiving end of threatening packages, I can tell you how disgusting these acts are. America is better than this. These acts should be condemned by all, and I hope they throw any individual caught in jail for a very long time." Two of the devices that were found in the mail were addressed to former President Barack Obama and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Secret Service discovered the package containing the device that was addressed to Clinton late Tuesday, while another package addressed to Obama was found early Wednesday. The explosive device addressed to Clinton was discovered within the vicinity of the home she shares with husband Bill Clinton in Chappaqua, New York. A device meant for Obama's home was intercepted in Washington, D.C., according to the Secret Service.